Hello everyone, welcome back to Powerwash Simulator 2. It's been a while. I did, I think, one job since the last episode. I don't think I recorded the shop at all. At least I can't remember if I did or not. It's been a while. But yeah, we've still got some of the adventure time to do before Star Wars starts. That worked. Okay. I just murdered a penguin. As always, start from the top, work our way down. Let's try and remember all the buttons, shall we? So, how's everyone been? Good? That's good. I've been up and down, but that's nothing new. Really enjoyed playing through Talos. The Talos Principle, that is. Really good puzzle game with a generally thought-provoking story. I can't say it definitely was because I already knew sort of what it was going into it. So it didn't really hit me the same way it hit everyone else when they first played it. That's fine. It's still a good story. And I am still miffed that 2 games in a row, it and Call of the Elder Gods, I decided to be conservative, not make a longer episode thinking I'll see the end of the game, and the final episode was just tiny. Like, if I hadn't added that little bit of the Talos Principle DLC into that final episode, it would have been, what, 10-15 minutes? I didn't realise how close I was to the top when that happened. I also did go back and do the other ending. It was literally just, you walk through those doors, you go straight to that golden heaven gate with the computer thing, and you reset there. No talking to anybody. It says, would you like to reset? You say yes. Then it gives you a different credit sequence, obviously, because you didn't destroy the world, or the virtual world. And you respawn back at the beginning garden. So all in all, I'm very happy I chose the ending I did. As for why I have kept to the same upload frenzy with the DLC, 2 reasons. The first one being, I picked the wrong DLC to start with, as in the beginning is much harder than Road to Gehenna. Because after that initial teaser, I did start to record the first episode of In the Beginning, and then proceeded to spend 20 minutes on each of the next 3 puzzles without doing anything but halfway progress. And then after I'd stopped recording that because I decided it was too hard, I looked at the 4th puzzle, and I'm like, I don't even know where to begin with this one. And then I just jumped into Road to Gehenna and did the first little level there, and I'm like, okay, this is much more manageable. I did still need to get some help with a couple of the puzzles. Well, actually, not the puzzles themselves, but the stars. But yeah. So, if, or more likely when I do go back to playing it, I will... Oh shit, yeah, should go back to the second reason I stopped. Which is I just got burnt out of that sort of puzzle game for a little bit. Which, you know, isn't surprising, seeing as I played, 19 to 20 hours straight over the course of a week. But yeah, so if and when I do go back to recording that, because I likely will, I will restart Road to Gehenna, and we can blitz through that first world and a bit that I've already done. There will be some snags still, because I have probably forgotten how to do some of the puzzles already, because I wasn't paying too much attention because I wasn't recording it. Because that's like the reason why I did decide to record that game. It makes me pay more attention to what's going on. Because most of the times when I play games, I just play the game. I don't really invest myself in the story or what's going on, or how I'm playing it. I don't know why. It doesn't always happen, but probably like half the time. You can see that in this game, but this game isn't really much of a story game. It's just, oh look, there is technically a story to this. I'm trying to think of the last game I actually fully committed to immersing myself in. And it might be Elden Ring. For like most recent game release. I'm also currently doing a replay of the Granted Early Access, because I haven't played it since its first iteration, where I did everything that it had to offer at the time. And that's fun. If I can, I've managed to ignore some of the more egregious bugs that they still haven't fixed since that first iteration. The most annoying one to me personally, because I am a stickler for details, is that in the starting area there's a couple of buried treasures, and in this game you can't get buried treasures until you got a tier 2 shovel. And then exactly at the time when you get the tier 2 shovel, those early ones disappear. I even left markers this time to point out where they were on the map, just in case the previous times I played the game I was misremembering where they were. But no, they definitely just disappeared, straight up. And when I looked online, it wasn't an uncommon problem. So yeah, there's that. It still frequently crashes. Which, I mean, I get it, it is early access, but I don't... Another early access game that I played a lot of, Subnautica 2, I don't think has really ever crashed on me. And this is Obsidian's second time doing an early access game. Is it Obsidian? You guys did Grounded? I believe so. I'm not the best at remembering game companies and developers, producers, and whatnot. Did I do all of those? I think I did. Yeah, so far so good. I've completed all the initial areas again, so now I'm up to what is completely new content, which is namely using, like, upgrading my tools to tier 3 and exploring the 3 new areas. Like, I've already exhaustively explored, well, not explored, let's say, like, adventured through the initial map again, because I've mined all of the personal upgrade items, the milk molars, including the new ones they added for the buggy. At least in the main area, so I've only got the ones in the new area left now. Because I went through and used an interactive map so I could help remember where some of them are and where the new ones would be. And I have cheated a little bit because a bit impatient playing it through again. I didn't want to have to grind up to the same weapons and whatnot I had the first time I played it. And I'm playing on a harder difficulty this time because I'm like, why not? I already know what's going to happen. Give me a little bit more of a challenge. So when I find myself doing an event that I really should have gone back and repaired my weapons for, aka the icicles, I had my claw weapons, which had, I think, a good 15 hits left in them, and a sword that had probably 30 hits left in it, and that was definitely not enough to get through the rest of that fight. Because the defense missions are a lot longer in this game, I think. At least it feels like it is. So yeah, after the first time I got really close, did the second time, got to the very end, it dinged, and then I died as it dinged, and I didn't count it. So I'm like, you know what, screw you, I'm just gonna enable one-hit kills and start shooting things. And I did. It was fun. I did the challenge. I should reward myself with that. Other than that, I did complete Uncharted 2 again. So I recently did a replay of the first Uncharted. Really enjoyed myself because it's a decent game. It definitely walks so the new Tomb Raider games could run. Not that I'm trying to compare the two, it's just they are both exploration adventure games, action adventure games. And Uncharted is very much a linear sandbox type adventure, while Tomb Raider is much more exploratory while still being mostly linear. Like, it has bigger sandboxes to explore rather than exploring the linear path sandbox. The restricted linear path, I should say, for Uncharted. That's a bad thing. It means you can focus completely on the action and only occasionally worry about where they've stashed the treasures in that game. Which in the second game they definitely upped the ante. In the first game they're all on the ground. In the second game they started stashing them up high that you have to shoot down. Yeah, sure, close the door. I'm in jail. Did use a guide to get the treasures because I wanted to. I knew I wasn't going to go for the platinum on those games, I just wanted to play them again because it's just a lot of tedious legwork. Like, you have to play through the game a couple times because you literally don't have enough chances with certain guns to get the amount of kills it requires you to get. And then you have to play through games multiple times. Like, you gotta speedrun as certain skins of Drake and whatnot. So I'm like, I really don't want to play through these games multiple times because they're good, but they're not that good. Like, I only went through and did the Tomb Raider one again because I realized I was wrong about something, and you could get it from just doing the hardest difficulty, which is what I did. So what it sounded like in the wording, which is playing it in each difficulty. I can stand on you. Gosh, if I'm doing close up again, I can probably do this. I wonder how much work I'm going to have to do on this door. life's been okay-ish. Like, once again, there's not a lot that I can actively complain about, but I yet feel the way I do. So, I know that people have much harder circumstances at the moment than me, especially with my friends. Although it's like much harder, but it technically is because I don't have any bar my own self. But you know what I mean. Not like they're going through particularly hard times. It's just everyone's got their issues, whether they're personal or interpersonal. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I'll do this. And going back to work sort of triggered this round of my down spiral. Because the first day was okay, yesterday, and today I just wake up and felt dead. Not dead tired, just, yeah, like something just felt very wrong. Didn't help that I had aches and pains from overworking a little bit. I think I've still got shin splints in my right leg. Don't want to bring the mood down too much doing this. I just wanted to jump on, have a bit of a relaxing gameplay, and shoot the shit. Because I do struggle to open up with people. And I think it's sort of mostly became the reason why I continued recording things. It's easy to talk into the void and pretending that no one else is going to hear it. And I know that's not true. Especially these ones. Because I know most of them will be able to, I do like to just put these on in the background because I don't care about the gameplay, I can just listen to me yap. And I do still find it surprising that I get any views at all with the quality of my content. Like, I'm very self-aware about that. I also just still don't care to do anything about it. It's just become more of a working on me project than anything else. Like, maybe one day I'll both care enough and not absolutely hate the sound of my voice enough to do some small edits. Like, cut out all the interruptions that I go through. Like, I try and pick and choose my times when I can play without interruptions, but sometimes they happen. That's life. The dog goes off. Someone needs something from me. People arrive at the house, etc., etc. So yeah, that's always a possible future thought. I am getting on a completely, not completely, but like an unrelated topic. I'm getting very fed up with the state of the world as it is right now, in most aspects. But to start off with, political. fact that certain people have such large platforms just makes me lose hope in some of humanity. And I'm not just talking about the Oompa Loompa. We've got our own brand of Oompa Loompa here in Australia. She's firmly in the pocket of her own Musk. And yet people refuse to see it for what it is. Even when she actively says she wants to... Well, no, technically she didn't say it. The Musk variant said it. But she wants to give the land to Israel and SpaceX. Israel so they can make their military weapons, and SpaceX for, Musk's approval. Like, just giving away land in Queensland is like, cool. Yeah, that's exactly what people want. Foreign interest. And it's already bad enough that Reinhardt fucking uses cheap labour for the most part. As far as I'm aware. I haven't done fact checking because I don't really care to. Bad people are bad people. And it's not like I'm trying to be an expert on the topic. I know what the rumour mill says. I can use logic to check that it's more than likely true, and that's enough for me. Just because she's not the focus. She's the cause, yes, but she's not the focus. Probably shouldn't get too political. And happier news, one of my friends has been more open and okay with their transition, which is really exciting to see. From a he to a they. I want to say they, them, but it might be they, she. I really have to ask for clarification on that, or scroll back through every Discord message to try and find where they initially said it. Or maybe it is just in their flat out Discord profile and I haven't gone back to look in a while. Really should. Need to be better about that. Because I did already use he once. Not in a direct way. It was more quoting a meme, but I could have changed it, and I did. Didn't get called out on it, because they knew that's not what I meant. But I need to be better about it. One of my other close friends is going on tour in Japan in October as well. Don't know if I talked about that before, and I'm really happy for her. She's worked so hard. She's filling in a friend's band, I believe. Like one of her friends, not one of mine. And they'll be touring through most of Japan, I believe she said. It's like, they're not mainstream music, but not to try and belittle them. It's like jazz, I believe. My friend plays the bass. Not bass guitar, the bass. And now I'm second guessing whether it is the bass or if it's the cello. I'm pretty sure it's the bass. I don't remember us talking about cello a lot. I do remember bass. other close friends, his son, newborn son, is doing well. Well, well for what was expected, especially now that they've caught on to more of the issues that some newborns go through, like certain allergies to cow proteins. And getting certain corrections done because the initial doctors decided it wasn't an issue. And then another doctor went up to and said, yeah, no, this is the worst I've seen it in a while. Like, yeah, cool. So you don't go to the doctors at a certain hospital because they are quite honestly awful from all sounds of things. Like, they wanted to keep the pregnancy going even though her heart was failing. And she was having a really tough time otherwise, just incredible pain. Even after they forced her to transfer to that hospital because originally they had a different one, but the one they're at didn't have the facilities to deal with a premature birth, which is what was going to happen regardless. But still, the new hospital tried to push it as long as they wanted to, and it just did not work that way. Like when her initial doctor actually got the scans, she's like, hang on, why the hell did they delay it for so long? So yeah, plenty of issues, but the baby ended up being born pretty healthy. Had a tongue tie, had the opposite of clubfoot. So instead of facing inward, they're facing outward, or the opposite way. I honestly can't remember. And he's one of the cute babies. Like, I'm not shy in saying that some babies do not look cute. Some just look like angry old men. But some babies do actually look cute. Another friend finally got their own space back after helping family members out of a ditch, metaphorically speaking. And they're really excited about that, to have their own space again. Plus, their family members also already have a plan together to pay them back. Or have already paid some of them back, I'm not too sure. My brain is not very good at remembering details. Another one finally, well, not finally, but he quit his job, which he'd been talking about for a while, feeling unfulfilled in it. So he was really happy with that. We all, but some of us went out and celebrated. Had a nice fancy dinner. Because that's what Frank's always like. He's very extra. In a good way. Wouldn't change him for the world. Don't know much about the last member of that group. He's been MIA. I think the last time I saw him was about 3 months ago. 2.5 to 3 months ago now. I know he's also busy with his baby, who's 1 now, I want to say. 1.5. Like I said, I'm terrible with details. But yeah, that's really all I know. As far as I'm aware, that's all any of us really know. I could be wrong. I could be the one out of the loop for everything, but I don't think I am. What else? Still been keeping up my reading. One of the novels I really was enjoying in Railroad just finished. Book 5, I believe, was the final book. It was Penitent, the one where it started off as a isekai, but into a world where the world was very much aware of the isekai and hated them, thinking, well, I don't think we even know if it's true or not, that they were killing their newborn babies to take their place. I don't think it was ever cleared up whether that was the case or if it was just a misconception. Which I kind of like. Adds a bit of moral grayness to it all. But yeah, it was like hundreds of... Oh, you can use the drum. Hundreds of isekais into that world. And they all got... like each different nation had their own way of dealing with it. Almost all were very antagonistic towards them. Like the one the MC got brought in to use alchemy and magic to forcibly grow them into adults in the span of a few months. To a year or so, I think. I think I got a year of training. And that's all I want to say about the plot of that one, because I do think everyone should read it. It is still currently up in entirety on Royal Road, and it is free to read on Royal Road. The writing is good, story is good. I do think it's thoroughly enjoyable. There is a very minimal system aspect to it. Like it's you read some like all not all some people have the ability to divine, as in to like look up divine, not deity divine. Their own. Everyone can look up their own. That's what I remember now. Yeah, so everyone can look up their own like titles and deeds, but some people are able to do it for others. And that's also how they find all the isekai people. Because all the babies that have been isekai are born with titles already. Like our MC, his was the Restored. So yeah, good story. Now that's finished, I can very happily recommend everyone go read it. So that I'm not forcing someone to read like I do on that site, which is like every other day for chapter updates. Which I know isn't really bad at all in the grand scheme of things, seeing as some of my friends read fan fiction, which can sometimes go weeks to months without an update. So can some of the books I read, but majority of them I think majority of them it's at least once a week. And all the ones that do go for longer is usually due to IRL problems preventing writing, as with fanfiction. At least in a road, they usually tell you this instead of just disappearing, like the writers tend to do in AO3. At least they used to. I, for one, was never much fun for reading fanfiction, and still not. Like, there's been a couple of times that I've thought about it and looked at it, and I'm like, no, I just can't do it. I don't like reading other people's interpretation of a world that wasn't their creation. Don't know why. Like, I've been tempted again lately to because some like a TikTok post reminded me that there's a fanfiction out there of Lilo from Lilo and Stitch and Boo from Monsters Inc. as they meet each other in college. Stitch is obviously still around, and then Stitch goes missing in the Monsters Inc. world, and then Boo and Lilo go bust in and cause havoc to save him. Which is a really cool concept, but I just don't know if I can. My current read is another superhero one, actually, like the one I'm just started, not one I'm currently up to date with and waiting for updates on, called Adamant Blood, also on Railroad. If I'm talking about something I'm reading, it's going to be on Railroad, because I don't really read anywhere else, except for 2 stories still on Wuxia World, which I am thinking about reading a couple more on there, because I haven't looked at any of the new ones in a while, because there was a period of time where all the new ones they had just either didn't interest me or interested me but were so poorly executed that I lost interest just as quickly. But anyway, I digress. Adam and Blood, only 5 chapters in. So far it seems like there is a system apocalypse. Pretty much everybody in the world has or can awaken. Some choose not to. Well, I think many choose not to, actually. But like the 90% of the people that do turn into what they call brawnies, which are just your generic strength and durability upgrades or speed upgrade. Some variation of the two. Of the generic tropes, I should say, not the two. While the others awaken so fast, what I know is just wizards. Is the other option for awakening. Ah, it's a snail. That's what's making that noise. And the first chapter wasn't even with our MC, it was with what I can only assume is the antagonist, or even maybe even just a minor antagonist. It wasn't bad. Mate, seeing his name pop up in the second chapter is what people are calling a superhero is kind of funny. That's what I mean by the heroes. Like, they call the awakened that aren't brawny superheroes. So yeah, so far I haven't dropped it yet, and that's already better than like 80% of the novels I look at, try and read. Maybe even 90%. Because a lot of them I will drop within the first 2 chapters. Either for the quality of writing not being up to snuff, or the style of writing just really grating on me, or both. I also tend to get really upset when authors ignore their mistakes when they're pointed out to them, because there is a whole system for that in Railroad where you can have edit suggestions that come up, and it is something that can be turned off, so when they don't turn off and they ignore them anyway but still reply to other comments, just really pisses me off. It's like, so you're happy not just your mediocrity but being subpar? I don't know. Could just be a little bit of the perfectionist streak in me. It's also why I never get very far with my own writing, because I stress over every detail, and if it's not perfect I have a breakdown and stop doing it. Which, speaking of, I am going to be running a Dagger Heart campaign, because our main game is kind of very much hard to run at this point. Like, we haven't played in 3 months, as I said. About 3 months, as I said. So we're going to use the one I'm going to run as a pickup game, as well as a whenever we can type game. And I don't know if I'm ready to DM again, but I won't know until I jump in at this point. So that's why I said yes. And we're running Dagger Heart because my friend who's DMing right now really wanted to be on the player side of things. We're going to be doing the 5 banners burning setting. So, very, well, not war heavy, but the themes are very war heavy. With 5 different nations, all with their own specialties and interests, like interwoven alliances, and not too interwoven. Like, you got 2 that are very close together, and then 3 that are close together by simple hatred / dislike for the 2 that are really close together. And players seem to get really into it. Like, at the very least, Frank definitely has. He had art commissioned for his new character. He's got a full backstory. It's different. Doesn't matter where I press it. I was gonna try and play hot cross buttons. Like, they've all done backstories and whatnot, and they've all also got somewhat connected backstories. They all came from the same nation initially, and all defected to the same nation. Which wasn't a requirement. I did say they could start as separate nations. But hey, them being the same nation does make it a little bit easier on me. I just need to get my ass into gear and start sorting out the details. Because I've already got the basic plot of how they start, and I've got ideas of where it can go. It's just putting pen to paper, or at this point, fingers to keyboard. Getting it done. I'm a drummer. Okay, playtime's over. Back to playtime. Because that is going to get annoying. This doesn't do it on the sides. Or on the front. Number one, babe. Who's the babe? What babe? The babe with the power. You do? You do. The babe with the power. Butchered that song, but do love Labyrinth. Haven't seen it in so long. And yes, like everyone else, I was also scarred as a child by the bulge. I think I've just got the floor now. No? Oh, this. Cell handbag. It's the cell's handbag. They're stylish. Yep, just floor, I reckon. Floor, 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 floor. Although the fact that it hasn't come up on the side means I must have missed a couple of things. Which is what it is. There we go. I'll be upset by it when I get to it. Did have a new game come out yesterday that I thought about playing instead of this, but it turned out to be not the game I thought it was. Still a game I wanted, but just not the one I thought I was going to be doing. It's another detective type game like the Root Trees Are Dead, but less intense. The Root Trees Are Dead. You get given us evidence, and then you get given so far just 4 suspects, and you get to talk with them as well, and then from talking with them and from viewing the evidence you get to put together who did the murder. The game's called Mini Murder Mysteries. The demo also had a separate mystery compared to the main game, so I don't feel bad about spoiling that one. It was about a murder in an Arctic research base. Oh, there's setup box. Okay, there we go. So yeah, that was good. Like, you do have to make some like small leaps of logic, like nothing massive. Oh, there's books and things on the ground, that's why. I'm probably not got everything done. Like, it doesn't just give you all the information straight up, you do have to make inferences and whatnot. Which is good. Both in the sense that it doesn't just give it to you, and in the sense that it's not as intense as cell sealing. What? Cell sealing's... Ah. What? There we go. But not as intense as the Root Trees, where you had to do a lot of leaps of logic by a certain point, and also to spend a lot of time exhaustively searching for terms to try and come across new clues. Like, I am glad I didn't end up recording the secondary game mode of the Root Trees Are Dead, which is Root Tree Mania. It was set a year after the events of that first game. and you were approached by, of all people, I think it was Zach. It was the son of that singer, not the main one, the brother, Clark. No, it was Clark Rootry, yeah, the one that cheated twice. And then ended up with a advertising firm. He approaches you going, well, we've had a lot of people claim to be root trees since the whole legal debacle of, you know, the undeclared root tree, and also discovering that. Oh no, we didn't discover that in that game. In the Root Tree Mania, we actually discovered that of the two brothers of the Starlet, like her sons, one of them wasn't technically a root tree. Because he was, I think, was he adopted? I don't know, it's been a while and I can't remember exactly the details. But the older one that was actually successful, he wasn't a true root tree, but his brother was. The one that went to jail. But yeah, there's a couple others that went through. And the first one they started you off with was like, here's the one with the most information about it, because he's the most like publicly profiled one. Was like a rapper who was claiming to be a secret root tree. And because I know most of you won't play it, I can say he wasn't. He used the story of someone else who had been claiming to be a root tree as his own details to make it sound a lot more believable. Where am I missing on the floor? I mean, that would help, but yeah, okay. I guess we got all the small spots I must have missed. But yeah, it was really good, but also harder. By the end of the game, I did have to make some pretty large leaps in logic, as well as some exhaustive internet sleuthing to find those last clues I needed. And I still didn't get a perfect ending because I forgot to fill out one of the details. Like, I had the information, I just forgot to fill it out. And there were so many red herrings about who to look into. Because one of the root trees was a prolific swinger. Like, his wife preferred the company of women, and he also preferred the company of women. And so he had a lot of affairs. But only 5 of them resulted in a child. Well, only 5 of them were with people who either had a child because of it or had children outside of it and were potentially also root trees. And I had to investigate all that, which was fun. But yeah, it did slow down at one point. They also did confirm some shady things about Miracle Root Tree, which who would have thought the evangelical one had some issues. But anyway, I digress. Let's just have a look at the next one. I'm not going to do it. Well, let's just see what it is. Oh, we're doing vehicles. That's going to be a nice short one. Yep, just 2. If I go into here, it won't be anything else, right? Carriage, helicopter. Cool. So yeah, I might do some of that mini motorist read now, depending on the time. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in whatever I decide to record next. Ciao.